What is up, obscure mic people? I'm excited, super excited, because I get excited about these things. Talking on the Relicart PM2, kind of as a, this right now is probably the USB XLR mic for me. Of course, we got the F-Deuce, and that's a good one, but the USB mode, just kind of heavy and dark, and there's no software with this, but this is a great choice for like 60 to 70 bucks when it's on sale. But now, as you know by the clip art and the title, we have the FIFINE K688 AMPLITANK, not AMPLIGame. They're coming up with cool names now like AMPLITANK, while still maintaining the model number system that we're used to. AMPLITANK. $79.99. I think there's even a coupon right now to get 10% off. Maybe. I'll put the link in the description. So if you do want to purchase this one, using my affiliate link on Amazon will help me out and keep Obscure Mics running. But I'm really excited about this. Really excited about this because before I get to the unboxing and everything, FIFINE listens. They listen to their customers. They listen to the creators that they collaborate with, which they did send this one over to me. So no, no opinions needed from them. They didn't want me to say anything on their behalf. Just check out the mic and tell us what you think. And that's the great thing about FIFINE. That's why I keep reviewing their mics, is because one, they respond with any criticisms, like we'll take that into account and see what we can do next time. And I swear to God, like I'm not the only person that ever is straight up on YouTube about what I like and what I don't. But whenever I talk about what I don't like, they fix it. They took the AMPLIGame and made the AMPLIGame A8 better with latency-free monitoring. They took the K658, and I'm not saying this is me that got them to do this stuff, but they listen. They took the AMPLIGame, got rid of the goofy shock mount, gave us a shock mount that's just much cooler looking, and it's XLR USB. I think it's the same as the K658. It's like the upgraded version. I don't know. I don't have the K658 anymore, so we'll just have to see what we think about this. We'll let this stand on its own and, of course, kind of put it up against the Relicart a little bit. So let's do the unboxing video with the Relicart in USB mode. Right now, the Relicart is in XLR mode. So you're going to hear the Relicart in XLR mode. Then you're going to hear it in USB on this boxing, and then we'll give all the attention to the AMPLITANK. AMPLITANK. I like it. AMPLITANK. This is the K688 XLR USB mic from FIFINE. Just got it. Got to bring it to you ASAP. Package contents. You get the microphone with shock mount, USB-C to USB cable, an adapter, user manual. Oh, yeah. Oh, that came open really easy. Okay, we got some documentation here. Foam. Got our adapter, our USB A to C, and the mic. Very similar design as the K658, I believe. Does that come off? Does that unscrew? Oh, okay. It's just a foam. Oh, it's like a velour foam. Nice. No grill pattern down below that. Capsule looks very very pile-like. That's okay though. We got the slide-on foam windscreen. Very velourish. That is very sexual. Capacitive mute switch. Got the shock mount, which actually feels metal. I think that is metal because it's really cold to the touch. At least the outer ring seems metal. Now on the back, this is where FIFINE really listened. We've got USB-C, of course, XLR, and we got headphone and microphone controls, but on knobs on the back that don't look too crazy. Like, they don't look too crazy at all. And I don't think we're going to have any LED stuff going on with this one. So the build quality about the same as the 658. But again, just better features back here. Just a slicker look. I like this. Does this shock mount come off anyway? It looks like, Yeah, there's some screws underneath the shock mount here. So if you bend that back, you could take this off. There's 4 screws. So if you wanted to take that shock mount off, you could, but I don't see the point. All right, let's get it rigged up. All right, now we've got the AMPLITANK, the K688, wired up XLR mode, and let's get right out of the gate and talk about our thoughts on it. It does have kind of a little bit of a boxed in sound. I think where there's no grill holes below, maybe that's giving it a little bit of a boxed in sound. Maybe it's the foam windscreen. Let's see. All right, now we've got the foam windscreen off there. Actually, I think it sounds a little better without the foam windscreen. Let's put it back on. Now we got the foam windscreen back on. I mean, it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's good. This just has a very clear and present sound that lacks a little bit of low end, not a lot, the Relicart PM2. So maybe that's just the difference. They're very different sounding mics in XLR mode, for sure. But so far, so good. Nothing harsh here. Like I said, a little bit boxed in sounding to me. But maybe that's more my headphones. Maybe on the video it'll come through nice and clean. But still, even though I think it sounds a tiny bit boxy, the early results are pretty good here because it's not harsh, it's not shrill, it's it's got a nice top end boost, but there's some low to balance it out. And I think just bringing a little tiny bit of mids up would help this mic out a little bit in post processing. But maybe I'm wrong. This is my first listen to it. I'm not doing any listening tests or anything like that. I'm just jumping into it because I want you guys to see this today. It's all about what you think. It's not about what I think. Does the mute button work in XLR mode? I don't believe it does. That's just USB mode. So there's one test already out of the bat. Let's go ahead and let's tap on stuff real quick. I'm curious about this shock mount, so I'm going to tap on my boom arm. My boom arm's noisy anyways, but I'll tap on what the boom arm's connected to. See it shaking a little bit. It seems to do a pretty decent job for the most part. Let's this velour windscreen is different. Do I have an SM7B windscreen laying around here? I don't know if I do or not. Either way, let's see how this, like, I swear this is like velour, like velvety, very different. Let's see how it does with plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Not extremely well. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. When you get right on top of the AMPLITANK. I keep calling it the AMPLITANK. When you get right on top of the AMPLITANK, the K688 from FIFINE, this is what it sounds like when you're right on top of it. It does get a little boomy-ish. I like to back off a little bit because the closer you get, get some big boom there. Gets a lot of boom. Yep. So it does, the close miking proximity is a little too much for me there. But that's okay. I don't get that close to my mics anyways. I leave 3 or 4 inches off, so for me, no big deal. And I don't typically float around much and get closer. I'm usually, mic discipline. Not just mic technique, but mic discipline. All right, let's go ahead and do some off-axis rejection, talking in the front of the microphone. Now we're going to go 90 degrees off-axis rejection. That looks pretty good. Sounds pretty decent so far. Now we're going to go 180 degrees on the microphone, talking into the rear of the mic. 90 degrees yet again, and then back around to the front of the microphone. AMPLITANK. All right, so does sound pretty good. I don't really have any major complaints. Like I said, I'd bring the mids up just a little bit, try to get rid of some of that boxiness maybe. But again, it could sound a lot better on the video than it does here. It is nice and full, so we'll see. I'll have to do some extensive recording and listening tests before I give this maybe I'll come back and give a final, Relicart or FIFINE review, like which one do I like the most. And maybe the F-Deuce will still get in there, who knows. Let's go ahead and switch over to USB mode and see what this thing offers in USB mode, and we'll play with the dials and all that good stuff. But so far so good on the K688, considering $79.99 with a 10% off coupon. I mean, tax and all, you're looking at like $75, and I think that's a great deal for an XLR USB combo. Even the Relicart, this is more expensive. The F-Deuce, about the same. So this USB mode is really going to tell us, it's going to tell me, maybe you guys too, if you remember the SL40 video from F-Deuce, but the USB mode is going to be kind of that deciding factor as where Do I like the F-Deuce or the FIFINE more? Let's get over into USB mode now. All right, so now we've got this in USB mode, and I've got the headphones all the way up. The headphone amp, it's doable, it's workable, but I do have the headphone amp all the way, and I've got the microphone's volume on the back, which again, got your adjustment knobs right here. I've got the volume up on the mic about all the way, but I do have my volume on my recording program backed off about 10 decibels. I had to do that to kind of mix in how I hear the microphone in my headphones, whether that's due to the, the headphone amp or the gain. I had to do some mixing and matching to get the same level here and the same level there. So I had to back off 10 decibels on my recording program while cranking everything on the microphone here. We'll see if that comes through nice and clean. It should, because I'm not hearing any clipping or anything like that in my headphones. But the sound on USB, very, very close to the same as the sound through XLR. Let's do some plosives and nose tests again just to be sure of what we're dealing with here. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Seems the plosive rejection is about the same. Let's get right on top of the microphone, and it's about the same on the boominess level, maybe a little less actually. So the close miking on the USB mode, not as bad as the XLR mode. So that gives me good hope for using this with a phone, tablet, that kind of thing. Perfectly usable there. Now let's go ahead and do off-axis rejection just to see if that digital to analog to digital converter in there, changes anything as far as off-axis rejection, whether there's too much amplification, anything like that. 180 degrees here. 90 degrees here, back around to the front of the microphone. And this is metal. This shock mount ring is metal. Let's do the mute capacitive switch here and talking. All right, and that's not having that big, huge knob sticking out there, but still having that capacitive touch mute switch. That is sweet. I didn't hear any kind of noise when engaging it. Still got to give it to FIFINE because they listened. They took the problems, which there wasn't many problems, but the K658 was a little gaudy looking. Like, it was cool. I was excited about it. I still think it's a really good mic to own for versatility purposes and the fact that it's a dynamic, and more YouTubers, streamers, podcasters need to do the dynamic. Do the dynamic instead of doing the condenser. Do the dynamic. Do the D. Do the D. That's what she said. Do the D. So, my overall thoughts of this: upgraded, in my opinion, yes. I think it sounds a little better, a little smoother, a little more full. And I like the buttons on the back, the knobs and dials. The latency-free monitoring still there. Mute switch is still there. The shock mount's upgraded. And I kind of like what FIFINE's been doing with these shock mounts that are built in and removable at the same time. I like that. I think that's a really cool thing. Why buy another accessory? Why buy a shock mount when you can just buy the whole thing? The whole thing right here. If you've got a stand or a boom arm, this is the whole thing. This is the whole package, total package right here in one microphone. You can use it USB, XLR. I think that's cool because, again, versatility, options. That's a thing now. I think 2022 and 2021, for the most part, the years of versatility with microphones. So FIFINE, another good job listening to customers and creators yet again. And I think it does sound pretty good. I don't have any major complaints here. I'm hoping that it comes through on the video just a tad less boxy than it does in my headphones. Chances are it will. That happens to me a lot. I hear one thing, and then when I switch, you just you can instantly pick out something different. And we went from super clear with the Relicart PM2 to a little more bottom end heavy, but still got some nice top end. It just felt boxy from the get-go. So let me know what you think about this microphone in the description down below. Be sure to join as a member to get early access videos. I couldn't do early access on this. I want to get this out to everyone right away because FIFINE's a company that I appreciate because, again, they do listen. There's a handful more companies that listen as well, but FIFINE is like quick. Like as soon as they hear what you don't like about their microphone, a few months later, they've got an upgraded version, a new version, a better version out. You can't ask for much more than that from a microphone company. I think this is a success again from FIFINE. I do think I like the sound of it. I can't wait to do more extensive testing, and I'll hold on to this for a while and do some comps. And we're going to do, I think we had some requests to do XLR, USB, shootouts, like between all of them. That'll be one hell of a long and gruesome video, but we'll do it. I've got most of the mics still here that are XLR USB, I believe. I don't think I've gotten rid of a single one of them. So we'll do that soon. FIFINE, great job listening yet again. The jury's still out completely on this mic, but for the price right now, which is what this channel's about, this is a complete success. We'll get more critical and fine-tuned on it later, but for what you're going to pay right now, complete success, and it looks pretty good on camera. That looks pretty cool on camera. Obscure Mics, FIFINE K688 is out of here. Bark's out of here. Thanks again for joining me. Peace out.